Live from the fire lines. A first look. Southern California is burning. Multiple wildfires are raging across the region, fueled by fierce Santa Ana winds. The devastation is immense, with thousands of acres scorched, homes reduced to ash, and lives tragically lost. This is a story of destruction, but also of resilience, as communities band together to confront this ongoing crisis. Our team is on the ground in Southern California, bringing you live updates on the wildfires. The situation remains critical, with firefighters engaged in a desperate battle to contain the flames. The air is thick with smoke, the orange glow of the fire illuminating the night sky. The Palisades fire, which erupted in the affluent neighborhood of Pacific Palisades, has already consumed nearly 3,000 acres. The Eaton fire near Pasadena has scorched over 2,200 acres. Both fires are only partially contained, with the potential for further spread. This is a developing story, and we will continue to provide live updates as the situation unfolds. Stay with us for the latest information and analysis on this unfolding disaster. Battling the Inferno, firefighters race against time. Firefighters are working tirelessly, risking their lives to combat the Inferno. They are facing a formidable foe, with the Santa Ana winds whipping the flames into a frenzy. These winds, gusting up to 60 miles per hour, make it nearly impossible to control the fire's rapid advance. Imagine trying to extinguish a bonfire with a garden hose while someone aims a leaf blower at the flames. That's the challenge these brave men and women are up against. The Santa Ana winds are like that leaf blower, turning small embers into raging infernos in a matter of minutes.
The terrain itself poses additional obstacles. Steep canyons and dense vegetation provide ample fuel for the fire, making it difficult to establish containment lines. Resources are stretched thin, with firefighters working around the clock, battling exhaustion and the ever-present danger. Despite the daunting challenges, these heroes continue to push forward, driven by a sense of duty and compassion. They are the first line of defense, standing between the inferno and the communities it threatens.
Communities in crisis, displacement, uncertainty, and fear. The human toll of these wildfires is immeasurable. Tens of thousands of residents have been forced to flee their homes, seeking refuge in shelters or with family and friends. The evacuation orders came swiftly, leaving many with little time to gather belongings or process the shock of the situation. Imagine being jolted awake in the middle of the night, the acrid smell of smoke filling your nostrils. You look out the window to see flames dancing on the hillside, approaching your home. You grab your loved ones and flee, not knowing if you'll ever see your house again.
Power outages have plunged entire communities into darkness, adding to the sense of disorientation and fear. Schools have been closed indefinitely, disrupting the lives of students and families. The uncertainty weighs heavily on everyone's minds. Amidst the chaos and displacement, stories of resilience and compassion emerge. Neighbors helping neighbors, volunteers offering food and comfort, strangers opening their homes to those in need.
A perfect storm, environmental factors fueling the flames. The Santa Ana winds, a natural phenomenon in Southern California, are playing a significant role in fueling these wildfires. These dry, warm winds originate in the Great Basin and sweep down towards the coast, creating ideal conditions for fire ignition and spread. Imagine a giant bellows, pushing air across hundreds of miles, drying out vegetation and whipping up the slightest spark into a raging inferno. That's the power of the Santa Ana winds, a force of nature that both sustains and threatens life in California. But the Santa Ana winds are only part of the equation. Years of drought have parched the landscape, turning vegetation into tinderboxes. Climate change is exacerbating these conditions, with rising temperatures and prolonged dry spells becoming the new normal. The convergence of these factors has created a perfect storm for wildfires, making it clear that this is not just a local issue, but a global one.
Section 5. Answering the call, mobilizing resources for relief and recovery. In the face of this crisis, local, state, and federal agencies are working tirelessly to provide relief and support to those affected. Firefighters are being deployed from across the state, with additional resources arriving from neighboring states. Governor Gavin Newsom has declared a state of emergency, unlocking crucial funding and resources. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, also known as FEMA, has also stepped in, providing assistance to supplement state and local efforts.
Community centers and schools have been transformed into temporary shelters, offering food, water, and a safe haven for evacuees. The Red Cross and other aid organizations are on the ground, providing essential supplies and emotional support. The outpouring of support from neighboring communities has been overwhelming, with donations pouring in from across the state and beyond. Every little bit helps, as communities rally together to support those who have lost everything.
Section 6. Staying safe amidst the crisis. Essential tips for residents. If you live in a wildfire-prone area, it's crucial to be prepared. Have an evacuation plan in place and make sure everyone in your household knows what to do and where to go. Pack an emergency kit with essential supplies, including food, water, medication, and important documents. Stay informed about fire conditions and evacuation orders. Sign up for emergency alerts from your local authorities and monitor news reports. If an evacuation order is issued for your area, don't hesitate, leave immediately. Protect yourself from smoke inhalation. Wildfire smoke can be hazardous to your health, especially for children, the elderly, and those with respiratory conditions. Stay indoors as much as possible and consider wearing a mask if you must go outside. Remember, your safety is paramount. Be vigilant, be prepared, and be safe.
Section 7. The long road ahead. Rebuilding lives and communities. As the flames die down and the smoke clears, the long and arduous process of rebuilding begins. For those who have lost their homes and belongings, the road to recovery will be long and challenging. The physical damage is only part of the story. The emotional toll of such a traumatic event can be profound. Many will grapple with the loss of their homes, their sense of security, and their connection to their community.
The recovery process will require a collective effort. Government agencies, aid organizations, and community groups will need to work together to provide housing, financial assistance, and emotional support to those in need. Rebuilding after a wildfire is not just about bricks and mortar, it's about rebuilding lives, restoring hope, and fostering resilience in the face of adversity. Section 8. Beyond the Flames. Climate Change and a Call to Action. The California wildfires are a stark reminder of the growing threat of climate change. As temperatures rise and droughts become more frequent and severe, wildfires are becoming more common and more destructive. This is not just a California problem, it's a global crisis that requires a global response. We must reduce our reliance on fossil fuels, invest in renewable energy sources, and adopt sustainable practices to mitigate the impacts of climate change. We can make a difference by raising awareness, demanding action from our leaders, and making changes in our own lives. We can create a safer, more sustainable future for ourselves and generations to come. The California wildfires are a tragedy, but they can also be a catalyst for change. Let us learn from this experience and work together to create a world where wildfires are less frequent, less destructive, and less of a threat to our communities and our planet.